How do? Welcome back to Witcombe Park Farm. We are in the middle of a hailstorm in July, which has damaged some of the crop. As you can see, all of our fields, apart from 97, have taken damage, which is frustrating. But it is what it is. Last episode, we got all of our silage baled, wrapped and into storage. We got our fields fertilised, new fields. We did a couple of contracts. In between episodes I've sprayed off all the weeds. I did that spray-in contract which gives us just over 5k. We are going to have to wait until this hailstorm stops for harvesting. The linseed is not ready to harvest. We're on 5 of 8, so we're nowhere near ready to harvest on the linseed. It might even be sort of September, October. Not October, well, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. So it's either going to be August or September. I'm hoping it's August. But we've got our poppy field ready to harvest. We've got our 2 Triticale fields ready to harvest. The grass is ready to harvest. The silage is ready, so we can sell that off as well. First things first, I want to have a look in sale. See if there's anything for us. I haven't looked at it since we last had a look. So we've got 47k in bank. Do have a bit of money to play with. We're only going to buy some if we really need it though, because we want to be saving for that next field. Nice couple of harvesters in there. Not like we can afford them, but we've got the Big Roy. Massive tractor that. Ooh, we've got some fertiliser. How much? 1 IBC, I'll take it. Half price. And that's about it. Okay, so we're going to have to pass on until this hail stops. What time is it supposed to be until? 9 o'clock. Okay, we're at 9:45 and it's only just stopped, and we've got rain again in the forecast, but not till 3 o'clock. So that gives us 5 hours to harvest our poppy and our 2 Triticale fields. It doesn't matter for the grass. Anything new popped up in those few hours we've skipped? Whoa. What is that? Straw pellets. Never done out with that, don't know what it is. Okay, so we're going to get the... Well, we're going to be going... We'll start with the poppy, which is our hilliest field. So we're going to need the... I think we'll put the New Holland onto baling. We'll get the Nemesis carting. And I might then put the Fent on mowing duties. We're going to top everything up with fuel, just so we can crack on working through, because like I said, we do have rain in the forecast, so we need to get this done. What's Fent looking like for fuel? Could do with a bit as well. Got a bit of a queue for petrol station. So So the fence going to be mowing and rowing by itself because we're going to need the other two tractors for baling and carting. You pull the combine out of the shed as well. That's been sat there for nearly a year, just chilling out. I think we need to refill this baler with netting as well. Yeah, it's nearly empty. So we'll spin round and get that refilled. Can only put one in because we're not fully empty. Just thinking, which field do we start on? I think we'll start with Triticale actually. Get the smaller field done first. And then move on to the bigger field. Finish up with Poppy. 2 headlands is fine. You can crack on with that. He's at the field waiting. We need to pull the Nemesis out, get it hooked up to trailer. Nemesis also needs fuel. And we're going to have to purchase some more diesel soon. See what we've got left. Oh, we've still got over 2,000 litres. It's the combine that drinks the most. But the combine's full. Must have done that before we put it away for winter. And it's repaired, which is nice. Saves us a job. Okay, I think we are ready to get cracking with year 2 harvest. We just check we've got the straw swath is on. How many headlands do I want to do? I want to do more than one, that is for certain. Let's do 2 headlands. Or do we do 3? Yeah, 2 headlands should do us. It's only a smaller field. Can you give me some lines, game? There we go. Let's just move forward a bit so we can get the baler in. Hoping this will just swap to straw as opposed to grass. Should do, he says. Yes, it has done. Okay, let's get this geezer set up. Lovely jublet. So I think now we are good to go. So let's get this year 2 harvest on the go. Well, it seems like the AI worker is incapable of turning round. Twice he's twice he's drove straight over the fence onto train tracks. Amazingly. Not a lot of yield off this field, but it's a small one, so I wasn't expecting loads. It's enough to get us kick-started. I think if the next goal is to buy that oil mill, we're not going to be drilling Triticale in this field again anyway. We're going to be going with the 4 oil types. Probably not going to go with sunflowers just yet, because we don't have a sunflower header. And we've got poppy, linseed and canola that all produce oil, so we don't need the sunflowers just yet. May do it in the future, but for this next couple of harvests, I'd say we're going to be just going linseed, poppy, possibly canola. We'll have to have a look at the price of oil, see which gives us the best price. I want to look at replacing this baler as well. Square balers are far superior to round balers. Obviously this baler can wrap as well. So if we do that, we're going to have to get a square baler for straw. And then we're going to have to swap to the forage wagon for silage. Because I think if we're going with the oil mill, we're going to need to keep on doing the silage for, I don't know, I'd want to say probably at least year 3. So we've got the little bit of cash income, because we'll only sell oil off once a year. So we need to make sure we're still keeping the bank topped up. But I think, if I remember rightly, that baler we've got's worth over 100 grand. Not anymore. I think it was 77k. Probably be able to boost that up a bit if we repair it. As it stands at the minute, we do have a front loading shovel bucket, but that only does 1,000 litres, and silage has a big yield, so we're not going to really be using that for loading because it would take us ages. So telehandler wise, bucket size we've got 2,640, but the manure fork, oh, it's less. That's interesting. Let's put the manure fork held more. Okay, so 2,640, which is not too bad. 2.5 times the size of the front loading bucket. I mean, ideally, we'd get a wheel loader. You get 3,600 on the general bucket, 8,000 on the silage fork. But wheel loader wise, we do have this nice mod, the 412S, which is only 40k. And I believe that is combinable with just the general bucket. Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, we'd want that 10k bucket, but that's only combinable with the L180H, which is 300 grand. So we've got a couple of options. I think if we sell that baler off, we could buy the, I think there's some, I've got some mods on square balers. Yeah, they are expensive though. Might have a look to see if I can get another mod that's a bit cheaper. I I mean, the Hestons are brilliant, obviously. 240, 190 horsepower we can pull with the New Holland, I believe. Yeah, 260. So the Heston's 90, which I probably would get back from the round baler if I repaired it up. So that would just leave us... Well, I mean, we could just get the bucket for the telehandler, but ideally we'd want 40k for the 412S. And the bucket to go along with that. What, the silage fork is 10.5, so we'd need 50k plus 70k on the baler. Oh, but thinking about it, we'd need a forage wagon, wouldn't we, as well? Now, we have got some mods on forage wagons. Problem is, the cheaper ones are tiny. We'd probably want that one. Still need to test the alfalfa, because that can take alfalfa as well. But yeah, that's another 40k. So that's what, 70 and 40 is 110 plus another 50, so it'll be 160k just to get our silage setup done, plus 250 on the oil mill. So we'd need 400k really to be able to do what we need to do. But that's a thought for later, me. For now, we're going to crack on with the next Triticale field. The iWorker's done the big grass field on mowing. It's just onto the smaller one. So yeah, we'll get this done. We'll see how much Triticale we got. And then we can move on with Poppy. Well, I've quickly just had a look at some square baler mods. There's a couple I've put in. Where are we? Square balers. So we've got the Krone Big Pack, which is, it's only 12 grand, does up to 240 bale size. And then we've got the Class Quadrant, which is basically the same, goes up to 240, but it's 83 grand. Then obviously we've got the Heston at 240 that we had previously, and we've got the ones that do the windrowing as well, but they're well out of price range. That's 319,000. I don't know why there's such a big leap in balers. I'm tempted to get that, but I don't know if it... I feel like it's a bit cheaty, because it's only 12k. But it does mean we could use that for the straw. And we wouldn't have to worry about grabbing everything else that we just talked about for the silage. I do want to get everything for the silage to be able to get them into the pits. But I just wonder if we can wait for a little bit for that, maybe. Because if we get this one at 12k, we can still keep this round bale with a wrapper. That's no use really. Only does 120 centimetre bale, so I think we will do. Got it with some standard twine. So 13k, 115 horsepower, yeah, so any tractor can pull it. Let's grab a pallet of twine as well. Don't know what the difference is there. One pallet. let's go with... Yeah, we've got the class, so we'll go with the class. Buy that. Right, so I'm going to quickly take the New Holland down. Just thinking we can... Can we unload this bale? I think we can, can't we? Unload bales early. So let's unload that, get that emptied. So I'll quickly drop this off. I'll fly down, grab Square Baler, and then we can move on to the bigger Triticale field. Right, okay, we've got the class baler on the New Holland. The Fent, yeah, the Fent has finished mowing, so I've set him going on the windrower. There's still a load of stuff down at store that I've not picked up yet. We've still got the water barrel, a couple of bales for rabbits. There's an IBC of, not sure, I think it's fertiliser we got. So we need to clear the store at some point as well. But we'll set off, we'll crack on. Once I get to a line round this corner, we'll bring the baler in. Get ourselves going and set up. Lovely, right. Let's jump in. Get this guy unfolded. Is there anything I need to do? What bale size are we on? 240, 180, 220. Yeah, so 240. Don't know what terminal group up is. Yeah. Okay. Drop him down. Should be a lot easier baling with this because I don't have to stop every time he's done a bale. Right, let's get follow me on. Nice. Right, I think we are good to go. Let's just check his following. Yep, hopefully doesn't get stuck in any corners. We've got the Fent rowing in next field along. So we'll crack on. I can see the damage up ahead from the bloody hail. We'll crack on and get this Triticale in. And then that'll just leave us the poppy. May do the poppy next episode, possibly. Depending on how long it takes us to do this field. And then next month we've got the linseed as well. So yeah, we'll see how we get on after this field. But let's crack on, let's get it done. And see how much Triticale we get. We're about halfway through the big Triticale field. The yield is ranging between 5.5 tonnes per hectare up until about 7.2, depending on the soil. Nothing that we can do about that. Overall yield, I think, is going to be alright. Not going to be amazing. A little bit frustrating sometimes when it's down to the soil and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. But that's the ways of precision farming. So the Fent has finished now his mowing and his rowing. So what I wanted to do, I just want to get this baler turned round. Just want to see if we can set courseplay up to bale whilst we carry on the harvest. Right. We might as well just get past these bales and then we'll be ready for an unload as well. Because if we can set the courseplay going on baling, that would be a massive bonus and it would just leave us the loading to do. I'll just set him up here so it's unloading. Nice, okay, so let's grab the baler. What is the working width that we've done? So it's 7.6 metres. So we should be able to set courseplay up. 2 headlands on a 7.6 metre working width. It should, fingers crossed, be able to do baling for us. Alright, so let's just start it up and drop it down so we register grass. Right, okay. Bale wrapper on. Right, so let's have a look on courseplay. Okay, so we want... I've completely forgot, was it 7.6? Well, it says 8.4 on here, but I'm sure it said 7.6. Let's have a look at 7.6. .6, 2 headlands. Let's generate that, have a look, see what it looks like. Looks... Does that look kinda right? I'm not sure. The problem is when you get out of the tractor, it resets the lines. Well, we can set it going on that. Oh, hang on. It's just charged us £7 for repairs. God damn it. Well, is what it is. £7. It's pretty annoying. I don't know where it's going. The start point's back over there. Where's it going? Don't know. We'll leave him to it. And we'll just keep an eye. Right, that's empty. Move this tractor out of the way. Start the engine. Why is it turned off? We'll finish the other half of this field. Hopefully, the baling will be done by then. Looks like it's starting with the ups and downs instead of the headland, which is fine. Doesn't really matter as long as he's getting it done. The lines look alright. They look alright to me. Anyway, we'll keep his eye on it. Let's get back to the harvesting. Everything's turned off for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Still following? Yes. Right, let's get the last of this Triticale in. Last pass on the Triticale, and I've only just realised how big of a bloody drop off that is there onto train tracks. Never realised that before. But that went pretty well. We had some issues with the baling on Cosplay. Got stuck a couple of times by bales and it decided to go off a couple of fields away for some reason, God knows what, and got stuck on a hedge. But we got it done in the end up. I just had to finish the last little bit, which is fine because it was a lot easier than doing it ourselves. So we will set it up on the second grass field, but we'll do that next episode when we start harvesting poppy. We'll get this into trailer, get it into silos, see how much we've got. Interested to see how many bales we made as well on the bigger bales. Looks like there's quite a few. So let's swap over. You can stop. How many have we made? 23. Well, plus what, we've got another one there, so 24. 24 bales is not too bad of the bigger bales. Make life easier for loading anyway. We've still got 2,500 litres in harvester. So let's get this into silo. We'll take the harvester around as well, which I'll probably have to do. Should be able to get the header through there. Well, we can get the header through there because we've got it in here. So let's go into the silo, have a look at our total yield on the Triticale. I don't. I need to sell those silage bales. I don't know if to do that now or do it next episode. Probably do it next episode, I think. We'll start the next episode by selling off the silage that we've currently got. I'm going to leave the header on just to see if we can get it into a poppy field with the header already on. If we can, it just means we don't lose that bit of crop destruction getting into the field. If we can't, we can't, but we've managed to get into the 2 Triticale fields with the header on, so hopefully we should be able to manoeuvre it in. Right, that's all in silo. Let's have a look what we got. Triticale, 42,500 litres. Not amazing. I was hoping for a bit more, I'm not going to lie. If you think the rye last time we got over 60,000 litres. But next plant will be linseed or poppy to go for the oil mill. So next episode we're going to get that poppy done. We'll pass on to August. Well, we'll start off by selling silage off. Then we'll get the poppy done. Pass on to August. Get the linseed done and into storage. We'll be selling off the poppy, the linseed, when it comes to best time, which I believe is January. And hopefully, along with the silage, that should give us enough money to get the oil mill. So next year, everything we harvest can go straight into oil mill. In between episodes, I'm going to run that little test I was on about before, about looking at yields of the different grass types. I've had some comments on the TikTok account that says alfalfa yields double as to what the standard grass does. But I don't know whether that's just a once a year harvest. If it is, then you know it's pointless because you get free harvests to the grass. But the price of alfalfa is more than the alfalfa silage is more than grass silage, so don't know. Like I said, I'm going to do some testing. I'll clip that up into a short so you can have a look at that if you want to. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to help me out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.